Peter Randy Aka, what a man. He's not a politician, he's not a celebrity, but in a country drowning in silence, his voice is a war drum, loud, defiant, and unafraid.
Absolute power will corrupt absolutely. President Tinubu did not suspend Rivers State Governor because he believes it is right or legal. He did not do it because he believes it is illegal or wrong. He did it because he knows he can do it and nothing will happen. There are states where he will not try it. If he knew that it was about legality, before he sent the memo to the National Assembly to ratify, he had already sworn in the sole administrator. And the ratification from National Assembly was supposed to come with 2/3 majority. There must be a quorum and they must vote on it. The Senate President and the Senate decided to use a voice vote. How do you ascertain 2/3 majority through voice vote?
Peter Randy is one of the most fearless civic voices of our generation, a truth speaker, a system shaker. A man who has chosen courage over comfort in the fight for a better Nigeria. And he doesn't just speak, he strikes. One of his most viral quotes captured the soul of a national decay.
In Nigeria, if you want to die, you go to the hospital. If you want to be robbed, go to police station. If you want to be jobless, go to school. If you want to be corrupt, go to the judiciary. The Nigerian judiciary is the last hope of the uncommon man.
It's raw. It's brutal, but it is the truth. And that is what Peter Randy brings. Not political correctness, but unfiltered clarity in a nation built on deception. He has faced threat, he has been attacked, but he keeps going louder, stronger, and more strategic. Today, he's leading a rising movement for electoral reform, pushing for a system where votes count, where power returns to the people, and where elections are no longer pre-written scripts. This is not just an interview. It is a mirror to our failure and a map to our redemption. This is Peter Randy, and this is Cartridge Podcast.
Thank you very much for having me. It's a pleasure being here.
Thank you. Thank you. So, without wasting much of your time, Peter, I want to go straight to the point. The first time I saw your video, it was on AY's show. AY's show.
Okay, AY Live.
Yeah, that was the first video that truly got my attention.
Okay.
All right. Aside that, I know when you used to do skit, the pastor stuff, and also I also watched that part because I mean I've always had interest in anything religious and all of that. So, but since you started the campaign of this electoral reform, the first time I watched your video was on AY show, and I mean, it was a beautiful art. But then you said something that struck a chord. You said that if you want to be robbed, go to the police station.
Yes.
If you want to be a sinner, go to church.
Yes.
If you want to die, go to hospital. And if you want to be a criminal, go to the judiciary.
Yes.
I don't know if I got that correct. Now, this like you've talked about judiciary, the hospital, police, and religion. I need you to tell us why you made this very powerful statement.
Thank you very much once again for having me. The truth of the matter is, in Nigeria today, every sector, every part of this country is not working well. If you bring anybody from agric to tell you about agricultural sector, it's not working. Health sector is not working. Education is not working. The only part of Nigeria that you have guarantee that is doing very well in Nigeria is corruption, crime, and criminality. Those ones are thriving exceptionally well. So when you say, if you want to die, go to the hospital, the statement explains itself. Do you know the number of doctors that have left this country? The ratio of one doctor to more than how many thousand patients? If nothing even gives you a sign of why, if you want to die, go to the hospital, where did the former president, the immediate past president, die? After 8 years as civilian president, 3 years as military head of state, he had to be treated in London. The current president, where does he treat himself? In France. So if the people who are leading the country do not have faith in the facility, what is left for you and I? When malaria is killing children in Nigeria, you go hospital, they treat malaria. Mosquito go, they bite you for the hospital where you they treat malaria. If you want to be robbed, go to the police station. Everybody go tell you, say that bail is free. How many of you have gone to police station and were told that, and you left there without bail? Every police station in Nigeria is an active crime scene. as we are talking now, somebody is being extorted somewhere in any law enforcement agency or facility. That is the truth of the matter. So people do not even know between police or law enforcement and armed robber who is even better for them. Imagine a society like that. And then when you talk about religious organization, if you want to be a sinner, go there, because that is where your hypocrisy can be covered. If you are a Muslim, carry hand for up, put head for down, they pray 7 times. Oh, that's good. If you are a Christian, you shout hallelujah. And all of the things that you are doing, you know that proceeds of corruption is what is being invested into those institutions. You are in bed with the politicians, and you are supposed to be the moral conscience of the society. Yet you will not speak because you are beneficiaries of that criminal system. So if you want to be a pretender to use it, just call yourself man of God or a religious leader. Hide under it and perpetrate your evil. It is a pass mark for you. It's a very hopeless system we find ourselves, and we have to fix this dysfunctionality.
I mean, I have been a victim of some religious treachery.
Yes.
And this platform have paid more attention to, those religious frauds.
Yes.
We've had a lot of issues where police have even come to this studio to harass us. And some of the big...
Really?
Yes. Currently, a lot of petition, including from the likes of Enenche, Paul Enenche and the rest. We've been to police just because we gave... the platform to people who came to share their stories with them. And when we get to police stations, you realize that majority of the big pastors have institutionalized a path of the police for themselves to use as a tool of harassment. So I have had my own share, and I understand what you're saying, but I want you to talk about these big pastors, because most of them seems to be more biased, politically biased, especially when it's not favoring them.
Okay.
You are a very loud member of the obedient movement. I suppose so, because
no.
Okay, but at least if
An
I
active
ask
citizen.
If I ask you which of the popular candidate presidential aspirants that the Nigerians have had in recent time who you support, I'm sure you're going to say Peter Obi.
Not really, not necessarily.
Oh, not really.
But
now, the pastors in this last presidential election campaigned vigorously for Peter Obi.
Yeah.
And does that not mean that these pastors you're talking about are also trying to ensure that we elect a good leader that will champion a good cause for the country?
Look, the issue of religion or religiosity, we have to define it. I am a Christian. I believe in God. I speak in the Holy Spirit. I believe in the Bible. I believe in the Holy Trinity. I am a Bible-believing Christian. Peter is my baptism and confirmation name. The problem with the average Black Christian, Nigerian Christian or religious person is that we are lazy Christians or Muslims or religious people. We do not have the ability to read or study the word of God and know God for ourselves. So the tragedy is that we have now outsourced our knowledge and relationship of God to figures, religious figures, who now come to use those words and explain them to their own with their own personal biases and mechanical understanding to control you. So that is why you continue to think that instead of them telling you that the root cause of the problem, they spiritualize everything. They make you feel or understand that everything that is wrong with you is spiritual. You don't have a job. Meanwhile, 70 to 80% of what we spend time praying for in religious houses are issues that will be fixed by a good government.
That is correct.
You do not have any business talking. You don't pray for lights. You don't pray for good road. You fix leadership to fix them. So because we have outsourced this, our own ability to think with our minds, the greatest creation of God was the human being. And we, as a people gathering in religious houses to pray for a better country, is irresponsibility. It is madness. Because what you are doing is calling upon God to come and do what he created you to do. He said he created man and gave him dominion over everything. In fact, after creating all animals, he told Adam, name them. Whatever you make of them is what they are. He said, the earth I have given to the sons of men to rule. He lives in heaven. So Nigerians call on God to come and fix things he created them to fix. So that is why spiritual leaders have decided to step into that vacuum and some of them become charlatans. They begin to use personal ambition. Whatever a man of God or imam is preaching to you is not the word of God. It is his explanation of the word. You need to know the word of God for yourself. If the average Nigerian Christian or Muslim knows God for themselves, our mindset will shift. And these persons will be less put out of business. So because of that, you see everybody will come. There is nobody that does not have an interest. You see a pastor or a imam, somebody will tell you, we are looking for church projects. A politician will come, donate 200 million. They say, praise the Lord, testimony, our church project is complete. Where did the money come from? It's money for hospital now, money for road. You are partaking in criminality. So whether or not the ones who come to support a certain government, as some they support some government, some imam and alpha, they pray for another one. So it is across board. But the truth of the matter is the real victims are you and I. Because as you said, politicians and pastors, big pastors, they are part of the elite. They can use police or anything to harass you because the security system of Nigeria is created to protect the elite, which include politician, man of God, KBC, imam, emir, and all of them who are in the corridors of power. So there is no dichotomy in that line. You are the one who is trying to explain it. That is where Nigerians find themselves. If you fix education and fix government, you will also reduce the criminality of religious institutions.
Don't you think that Nigeria is beyond redemption? I
No.
mean, the problem, a lot of people who are going to be watching this video are going to be laughing, probably because they've given up on Nigeria.
Yes.
They look at our political structure.
Yeah.
They look at the condition, the situation in the country. They feel like, okay, we are never going to get it right because these people who have made this country what it is today have become so grounded. They are holding Nigeria by
the jugular.
The jugular. So how possible is it that we're going to be able to free Nigeria from the grips of these people? Now you're campaigning for electoral reform. The people who are going to ensure that our electoral system is reformed in a way that it truly becomes independent are the same people who are also profiting from it.
Yes.
So don't you think that the whole situation is messed up and the country is beyond redemption?
Nigeria is absolutely not beyond redemption. Nigeria can work. And you see, this particular question is a very good question because a lot of people say it. But I want to ask you, my brothers, do you know that if you enter a car from here to Lugbe Junction, there's no guarantee that you will come back? Do you know that there is a possibility that you can get accident and die?
That is true.
Now, do you know that you don't even need to enter a car? Do you know that you can sit, sleep, and don't wake up?
Yes. That is true.
That is true.
Have you ever had a problematic family member, maybe a sibling, brother, sister, or anything? Have you seen the attention your mother put on that child? Do you see the mother throw away the child because they give a problem? In fact, the more problematic the child is, the more likely the mother will pay attention because he no want make the pikin life spoil. It does not matter how much Nigeria is bad. To fight for freedom from oppression, it is for as long as you are under that oppression. So it is forever until you get it right. Life is about having hope. If you cease to have hope, then we cease to exist. You cannot give up on something because the bad part of it is this. The fact that you decide to give up on Nigeria and you are still living here and staying here does not cover you from becoming a victim of Nigeria. Nigeria can still happen to you. If you like, pay attention or not. The people where stray bullet kill is not because they were fighting for Nigeria to be good, but Nigeria meets them there. You can decide not to pay attention. You are doing your own thing here. A man of God or somebody carry police come meet you here. So you have still been affected by Nigeria. As long as you are alive, if you like, even travel overseas, the Nigeria syndrome will follow you there. That is it. So the question is, what is your other option? Keep quiet and continue to die or continue to try to fixing it. And then when people ask you the question, they say, now the same people where they benefit from electoral malpractice, how can they give you electoral reform? The question you ask them is, okay, so through whom will you get the electoral reform? Are you expecting that those people who are there benefiting, a time will come when they will give way for people who will now come and do it? There will be no better time. The tragedy of Nigeria is that there is no worst case scenario. Because things are this bad does not mean it will not get worse. You must find the courage and summon it to place a demand on the people who are there and get what you want. If not, maybe you should wait for 2027. When they are done, after 2031, maybe the people who will come after it will be easier. You never notice, say, since 1999, once one president come out, now that time the person will come, you go come know say the one will be come out, now ain't good pass.
Go on, they miss the past one.
Imagine something will go make you come miss Tinubu.
Kai.
So that is the Nigerian reality. When people sit down and continue to say, they're not go do am, they're not go do am because we never put pressure for them to do am. The people who are holding Nigeria hostage, how many are there? My brother calculate the entire politicians holding more than 200 million people hostage. And those people who are supposed to rise up and make a demand are saying there's nothing we can do. You are a captured people. We are voluntary slaves. The earlier we wake up and find out between the power of the people and the people in power, we will know who should be greater.
Sorry, if I may ask.
Please do.
You've made mention of the problem of corruption,
Yes.
crime and criminality.
Yeah.
But you laid so much emphasis on the elites.
Yes.
But in my own opinion, I would like to ask, do you think the problem of Nigeria is bad leadership or complacent followership or both?
A combination of the two.
Okay. You have seen how things have gone in the past few years.
Yes.
In fact, some said Buhari showed us Shege,
Yes.
but Tinubu is showing us Shege Banza or Shege Pro.
Pro Max, yes.
What do you think can be institutionalized to solve some of these problems?
Doctor, should I be very straight with you?
Of course.
Nigeria's problem is an outright lack of accountability.
From the leaders or the followers?
Everybody.
Fine.
The fact that in Nigeria you can do anything and there are no consequences is the challenge of Nigeria. And whether it is a leadership problem or a followers problem, it will be fixed through leadership. There is no country in the world where there is no corruption, including Rome, Vatican, where the Pope is, including Mecca, where we call Holy Land, there is corruption. It is strong institutions that instill discipline on people. No human being is born to do good. No human being is born to do bad. We are all an open slate. What you learn is here. In America, where you say somebody know they beat traffic, it is because, in fact, if you beat traffic, nobody, law enforcement will chase you now. Camera just catch before you serve you paper, you go and pay. In Nigeria, white expatriates beat traffic here because your system, what they can't do there, because your system permits it. That is why you hear me talk about this electoral reform. Nigerians have been wasting time complaining about the symptom of a problem and leaving the root cause. If we call ourselves a democracy, democracies are built on strong institutions and free, fair, and credible elections. You know why? Elections are the first line of accountability. There is no leader who knows that power comes from the people, that the people have the capacity to vote me in and take me out, who will not perform. So it is not a matter of, say, politicians should perform or not perform. No. Ensure that there is a system to hold them accountable, because that complaint they complain, say food, no, the insecurity. The people who put you in that situation are ready to come back. If you fail to meet them at the polling unit, you will subscribe for another 4 years of Shege Pro Max.
Okay. Well, you know, there is this saying that man is a product of his environment.
Yes.
Possibly some people were created on the basis of the nature and the composition of the society they originate from. Possibly, I wouldn't know. What can you say about our political behavior in Nigeria, and what is its impact on Nigeria's development?
The question will be, what exactly has been our political ideology and what is the vision of the Nigerian state? Nigeria does not have the idea of citizenship. Nigerians cut themselves across ethnic and religious lines. There is no common denominator, something that unites us as Nigerians, where you say that this is our identity. I am proud of it. That even from the cradle, from nursery school, that they teach you. In the US and in countries, you see their curriculum from the kindergarten level, you are taught loyalty to your country. That is why even the US passport, when you see them, it says, we the people. It is always about the people. But Nigeria does not have that sense of cohesion because there is nothing. We are just like a geographical expression. Everybody just struggling to strive. And now we have allowed the political space to be completely saturated with charlatans. People who are there to take power for the sake of power. Look at, for example, Donald Trump. The US president is one of probably the most powerful person in the world.
Of course.
Yes. Donald Trump has came into power January 20th this year, less than 6 months or maybe 6 months. He is in a hurry to begin to implement his big, beautiful bill, his immigration policies, his economy. He's shaping his foreign policy. Why? No matter how powerful the US president is, he knows that it is the power of the people that bring you there. America does not even give you 4 years. 2 years' time, by 2026, they hold what they call midterm elections. If he does not perform, either the House of Reps or the Senate might flip and go Democrats. It puts the president in a more difficult position. So he is under pressure to perform because an institution is ready to hold him, to checkmate him. Nigeria does not have it. It does not matter the calamity Buhari is. He will do 8 years. It does not matter how Tinubu is bad. He will do 8 years if nobody does anything. And guess what? He will bring a successor. That is the Nigerian tragedy. That will tread the same path, who will now be loyal to him and not the people.
Then, if I may ask again, before later President Muhammadu Buhari left power,
yes,
he made some electoral reforms. What do you have to say about those reforms? And how adequate, efficient, and effective do you think those reforms are with the present political socialization and behavior that we have in this country today? Are they enough to take us out of the mess?
And this question is a very good question because you remember the electoral reform, the issue of IREF and the rest of
Beavers.
Beavers. And we still had a very flawed.
Of course.
Yes.
So is it electoral reform that is the problem or implementation of the reform? Because this is a country where we can come and write beautifully on a paper.
Yes.
But the execution becomes a problem.
Yes, because good laws are as good as the people who implement them. Yes, and that is why we also have a judicial problem. But to answer your question, I will want to just state clearly that Buhari is or was the greatest calamity to befall any nation in modern history. Muhammadu Buhari is a person who, or a leader, or as a leader, no country should have the misfortune of having such characters in public office because they have no business there in the first place. Buhari destroyed the fabric of Nigeria and put us, what Nigeria is suffering today is the ghost of the Buhari presidency. A man, if apart from all of Buhari's issues, Buhari was a person who came into power on the background of an election that was seemingly free, fair, and credible, conducted by the former President Goodluck Jonathan. If Buhari did not give anything to Nigerians, he should have left a legacy of free and fair elections. If Buhari did not achieve anything, they were saying he go fight corruption because he has integrity. They were saying he will fight security because he was a former retired general. He failed in all of them, but at least elections which you were a beneficiary of. Buhari conducted some of the most criminal elections in Nigeria's history. And in 2023, when Nigerians complained about the elections, what did Buhari tell us? He said, if you are not okay with it, go to court. All the time Buhari contested elections for 3 times before becoming president, he always went to court. When Buhari entered as president, what did he do to reform judiciary? I will give you just 2. It was under Buhari that a sitting Supreme Court Chief Justice Walter Nkanu Onogen was removed from office following a code of conduct ex parte order to remove a CJ of a country. And then replaced with another justice who became the one who began the judicial calisthenics that took a person who came 3rd in a state and made him governor of the state.
Is it 3rd or 4th?
That's
Supreme Court. Yes. And that is how we had the Supreme Court governor. And many others under him was when the Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, was the person who swore in APC caretaker ESCO in 2020. Guess where that swearing in took place? Inside Federal Executive Council chamber. It was under Buhari that the DSS stormed a court and rearrested a person in the presence of a judge. There was complete violations of court orders at will. And guess what? The vice president of that government is a professor of human rights law. The entire 2022 Electoral Act was a document of mischief and fraud. because they claimed that it was supposed to be the game changer in terms of electronic transmission of results. But guess what? Section 60, subsection 5 of that act, it said the presiding officer will transmit results in the way and manner prescribed by INEC. Now, did INEC...
Who appoints INEC?
Who appoints INEC chairman? And then did INEC prescribe a way? Yes, in paragraph 38 of the INEC guidelines, electronic transmission of result is there stated clearly. But the judiciary did not hold INEC because it is not an omission. Even when they did not transmit, it was not an omission to the Electoral Act. Immediately after 2023, what Nigerians should have done, instead of being frustrated and disappointed, was the attention was supposed to have been turned straight to INEC and National Assembly. What were the loopholes that we did not plug? You must plug those loopholes and then prepare to defend votes on that day. How do we now make this electronic transmission of result compulsory? And where INEC fails to do it, there should be consequence for INEC. But everybody decided to give up. Guess what? INEC is now consolidating on that criminality. We are left with just less than a year or 2 years to the next election. So if you do nothing, you will still complain in 2027.
You know, in this Abuja, there was a day, it's something I've always noticed.
Yeah.
When I'm driving, I like to obey traffic rule.
Yeah.
Whether it's middle of the night or not. So when I stop at a traffic light, I usually notice something. You will see a big car. You will get there. The person will stop. Another big car will stop. The people who beat traffic, who run on red, are usually the taxi people. And people who are using one jangpa car, you know, this one, pia, pia.
Very impatient.
But the ones you feel, you know, are well-to-do because of the kind of car they have, they come, they stop.
Yeah.
They respect themselves, they stop. But in Nigeria, we believe it is the rich who are usually breaking the law.
Yeah.
But this one is just a simple one.
Yeah.
That is obviously clear that it is those who are on the lower echelon of the society that break this traffic. So my question is, he has asked a similar question before. This country, the problem we'll have, is it truly those above or those below that have refused to be led? You know, to lead, to be a good leader is one thing. For the led, those who are led, to accept being led is another problem.
Do you know that when people become victims of a long-term bad governance, they become naturally, you know, agitated or against order? When you live in a lot of chaos and disorderliness, your system begins to somehow acclimatize to disorderliness. It does not matter whether a person who is a taxi man is breaking security, as long as you still have politicians, governors, senators, even local government chairmen, where they break traffic, it is a clear indication to anybody that you should also be lawless. Because some persons will see that as their own means of protest against what is going on. They go say, after all this. And you know why? Because they know that if there is a system that holds everybody accountable, there will be consequences for what you are doing. If you beat traffic today, the only thing there for you, if you are even arrested, just know somebody in road safety. Sabi person for police. That is how Nigeria works. Make sure say you get people. Anywhere they go, whether they go hospital, no person there. Because for you to even pay money or access doctor, you may need to know person.
Get bed.
To get bed. You know they have premium ward now. They get,
course,
yes.
Of course.
If you enter, no be the general ward, everybody they stay. If a guy wife go there, no be there, they sleep. In prison, you heard the story too. You know. No be where every inmate they day, na person will get money they day. Inside Nigeria Correctional Center. So we have been so much, you know, used to chaos and dysfunctionality that Nigerians, some need to be reconfigured. But it's not because they cannot behave well. The same Nigerians will travel and go overseas and will conform to the system. Because if you do anyhow, you go see anyhow. That is the Nigerian situation. Build a system of accountability and consequences. Then they become a national orientation. Gradually, the same Nigerians where they talk, say maybe they go beat traffic, those are the same Nigerians who in some cases will help to maintain law and order. So while there is the bad, there is the good. There must be a way of rewarding good and a way of, you know, punishing bad. When you reward criminality, what you will get is a criminality Armageddon. That is what Nigeria is doing. The system does not reward good behavior. So if you continue to reward crime, crime will fester. That's why Nigeria is the way it is. The more criminal-minded you are, the more likely you will become president of this country. If you try to stay with integrity and good behavior, you may not go anywhere.
On your interview with Honest Bunch, Daddy Free said something about P2B.
Yes.
That the reason he doesn't support or like P2B is because P2B worked with Abacha.
Yeah.
Now, of course, we later realized, according to clarifications made from Peter and every other person, that Peter didn't work for Abacha in Abacha's administration. And now that you've come to the understanding of that fact, what would you say to Daddy Fritz and those who keep pointed the fact that someone like me, let me just make the question broader so that you can answer them at the same time. Someone like me, who I support P2B to become the president of this country.
Okay.
And then this man here looks at me and says, because of my nature, because of the way I've been supporting P2B, because of, the way I speak good of him and speak bad of other people, because of that, he's not going to support P2B. Now, he's punishing P2B because of my own inadequacies. Does it make any sense that someone will say, because the obedient are usually violent and all of that, therefore I'm not going to support P2B? Does it make any sense?
Look, let me just begin by saying the interview on Honest Bunch podcast was an invitation to discuss electoral reform and governance. And as much as I have always done on electoral reform, you were asking me if I support a candidate. We try to maintain our neutrality. Because Nigerians, once you put a partisan coloration to it, they want to look for a way to neutralize what you are doing.
Yes.
Tomorrow they go say, now Obi send you are doing Obi reform and all of that.
Yes.
We only went into that because the conversation kept coming or the questions kept coming. And then, Reno Mokri had been on the show a previous time. So there were certain things I just felt like we should clear, not because I am a surrogate to any politician. The truth of the matter is you will support who you want to support, regardless of your bias or another person. What you are only trying to project is your personal bias and sentiments. There is nothing another person do that you will pin on another person. If a person in obedient movement offend you, it is a person in obedient movement. There is no way that it now ties to Peter Obi because obedient movement do not think through the brain of Peter Obi. And then again, if you want to talk about Obi working with the Abacha government and all of that, which he has clearly stated, there was a congestion problem in the port and they decongested it, which didn't even last up to a month. But in any case, the question will be, was Obi found wanting working under Abacha? Because it should not just be said because you work under this person. I think you should give credit to a person who is even able to work in a corrupt system and still remain incorruptible. So I think it even goes a step further to show the capacity and character of the person called Peter Obi. So you should even give him credit. Were there papers anywhere where you saw that through the congestion, he took money and he did? Till today, he keeps saying it, that any of you who has anything about corruption should bring it out. The whole opposition have been looking for it and they no see. Up till date, a man who was given land and wrote a letter to return the land and say no. And then again, if you now say you are not happy with Peter Obi, you are now happy with who? A person the one who came to, it was Reno Mokri who went to Chicago State University to confirm that according to him, Tinubu was a known drug lord who forfeited money to the US government on that drug case. So you are angry with Peter Obi because of obedient movement to support a person who your own person who you reference, Reno Mokri, confirmed to be a drug lord. Let us be honest with ourselves. This is just unnecessary. There is no balance. Obi left office until today does not take a penny from the Anambra State government. President Tinubu's pension scheme include overseas medical treatment for an unspecified number of family members. Routine medical checkup overseas. On your retirement, the salary of a former governor of Lagos State is equivalent to the salary of the sitting governor. Once the sitting governor reviews his salary, he has reviewed pension for all others. You will get a house in Abuja and in Lagos. You have about how many bulletproof SUVs given to you, given to the first lady, also your orderlies. That is what the president, and guess what? Even though you are now president, you do not leave back that
You are
pension.
still collecting
you
that
combine all of them. Then you come into office. The first time when you reach office, you will come out, talk, say subsidy regime is gone. The economy is bad. You met a poor economy. You started to buy presidential yacht. You bought a new presidential jet, a jumbo jet. You begin to budget money for the office of the first lady to renovate, to fix solar panel. You budget money to renovate Dodan Barracks house of the president and vice president, where you do not stay. And you are a former governor of Lagos who has your own private residence in Lagos. So we should stop trying to play, And when it comes to, say, political obedience and nasty and all, nobody laid the foundation of political online thuggery and violence more than the APC. If they began in 20... Obedience are even staying on context and on issues. Ideology. For the APC, it was propaganda in 2014. They made a casket of the former President Goodluck Jonathan when he was still alive. They called his wife unprintable names. So is that the group we are putting side by side with Obedient? Please, in the name of God, we have sounded too good. Let us just stop this hypocrisy or psychophancy. We know what is good. We know what is evil. Let us not try to marry the two. Obi is a person that has proven that he has the character, capacity, and competence to lead this country in any capacity, and is far, far, far above the kind of calisthenics or charlatans we have today. Yes.
I need you to speak to the character of Reno Mokri. This is one man. I grew up liking Reno because of his Reno Nugget. Then I used to read.
I still follow him too.
Yeah, and all of that. But then suddenly, today he's neither here nor there. He speaks from both sides of his mouth. Today he condemns Tinubu and call him unprintable names and all of that. Tomorrow he's championing, he's saying that Tinubu is the best thing that has happened to Nigeria. And he will not address, just like you said, he traveled to Chicago to confirm that he's a known drug lord and all of that. This same person is now the one telling us that this known drug lord is the best thing that have happened to Nigeria. So the character of such a person, is it that he's a political job, he does it for a living, or that he's sincerely interested in the well-being of the country? And this, his treachery of trying to bring one ethnic group against another and all of
people
that.
Again. Yes. Very dangerous. See, my brother, let me tell you, not everybody who criticizes a bad government is interested in a better country. A lot of persons do not hate corruption. It is who is involved in that corruption and to the extent that the corruption benefits them. The same thing a person may call corruption may become God's grace and blessing tomorrow. So you should be very, very careful. Nigeria, unfortunately, has a very dysfunctional educational system. A lot of Nigerians, the danger is not even with only the illiterates. Even educated Nigerians do not know a lot about governance and government or policy making and leadership. So when a person is able to speak English and sound intelligent, people naturally believe that you are wise, say you get sense. And so they begin to follow you hook, line, and sinker. But if you are very careful, you will see the mischief in a lot of them. There is Senator Ben Murray Bruce, who used to be the common sense senator. You don't forget. He used to be the person who is making common sense. Can you see the common sense he's making now? For a person like Reno Mokri, a lot of Nigerian politicians cannot exist or survive opposition for a long time because they are political jobbers. That politics they are doing is their only enterprise. They have nothing that they can. They need to reconnect to that channel of corruption to gain their survival. After the Jonathan government, Reno Mokri migrated and went overseas. For 8 years, was fighting the Buhari government and all of that. He has done it for 8 years. They were trying to see that maybe another person will take over from Buhari so that they can reconnect. It did not work. The only option is to support what is on ground so that you can come back. And since you have the followers and you have the, ability to communicate your mischief, you become a usable tool or a useful tool in the hands of those opposition. So even when you were criticizing them, they would still bring you in.
Of course.
Let's use that your platform. Nobody, the kind of names Reno Mokri called President Tinubu, nobody here, not even anybody in the opposition used them. The people he likened Tinubu to, he made mockery of even his teeth.
Yes.
He made mockery of the fact that his own clothes were stained. That is how vile Reno Mokri is. A person who can use whatever is the issue to cut Nigerians across ethnic and religious lines. A very dangerous kind of politician or figure. But they are political jobbers. They have no other means. They must reconnect to their conduits so that they can survive. Now, stomach infrastructure. So take them serious at your own risk. Nigerians must wake up. We must fix government and education. So on Rino Mokri, I would not even spend time because, by the way, he has no political capital. He cannot sway one vote. He has never even been a councillor. They were part of Jonathan's media age. They bungled his administration, destroyed the communication part of Jonathan. They couldn't do anything. They were part of why the man even was voted out of office. If he was as vocal as this when he was with Jonathan, maybe the government would have done better. But he was a failure in that administration and a colossal and catastrophic failure. So for him to come back and try to, reignite this embers of division is very shameful, and I think he should be thoroughly ashamed of himself.
On the issue of ethnicity and religion, since let's say pre-1960s,
yes,
we've seen continuous ethnic and tribal coloration of every single issue in Nigeria.
Yeah.
And to speak, no end has been put to those things. What do you think we can do to reconfigure people's mind to stop thinking, behaving toward others, and treating them on the basis of their religion and ethnicity?
Doctor, should I be honest with you? Nigerians are not as divided as they make it seem. Do we have ethnic and religious differences? Yes. But it is exacerbated by evil politicians. The division you are seeing is the handwork of corrupt politicians. But guess what? When it comes to their own political hierarchy, in sharing the spoils and looting Nigeria, they have no division. The daughter of a southern governor can marry the son of a northern governor. They have no religion or ethnicity in stealing Nigeria's money. It is when it is time for them to now do what they need to do for the people of the country, they begin to pit you across ethnic and religious lines so that you can go against yourself. The person who is in Borno State in the IDP, Peter Obi gave them water. Did they ask who gave them water?
Not at all.
The question is they needed water.
And it was provided.
The average, before my father died, he worked with Nigerian Airways. And I can tell you, my mother met my father in Sokoto. She was on holidays. We are from the south. My father, in fact, if his transfer is done today, he will want to stay back at the north. He said they are some of the most, genuine people he knew. He spoke fluent Hausa and Fulani and Yoruba before he passed. But Nigeria, somehow, the politicians and the political class continue to weaponize this poverty, illiteracy, and religion and ethnicity. So what we as the people need to do is to look for the common denominator, which is our common humanity. How many of the people in both? Do you know how many people were killed in that Niger State flood in Mokwa?
Over 200.
More than 800 people. They can't even account for the dead. Because the place is the landslide or the mud. They cannot even get there. If by the first day of a flood, they are telling you that the death toll is more than 150, know that by the time they finish the search and rescue, it will have gone up. Reuters reported that it's close to 1,000 people. Today, are you hearing anything happening there?
Not at all.
So if you hold your religion and ethnicity, what has it benefited you?
Not at all.
The Northerners during Buhari they were shouting, say Baba, say Baba. By the time he was leaving, they were shouting, Bama so, Bama so.
In fact, I was about coming to that because 2027 is around the corner.
Yes.
And in Nigeria's history, it is during this present Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration that we've seen that less than 2 years into governance, people have started politicking. Serious one. So obvious. They don't even care about what happens in 4 years. Some people are already saying power should shift to the north.
Yes.
In fact, I have personal friends who are Yorubas, Igbos. On my own opinion, I have these feelings that for the sake of unity, an Igbo man
should be president.
President. Yeah. Irrespective of past histories, because our historical evolution of how things have been in the past is one of the reasons why we are
where we are
today.
Yes.
Do you think with the slogan, especially those in Atiku's camp, saying power should go back to the North. Does this country belong to the Northerners?
Doctor, my brother, the question that it is unfortunate where Nigeria is, where we are with our politics and our governance. The question is when somebody tells you that let power return to the North, the question you should ask them is that what is the power going to do in the North? If you calculate from 1960 till date, we have had about 15 or 16 presidencies,
Yes.
heads of state. About 10 of them have been from the North.
Yes.
How has it translated to the improvement of the welfare and the life of the people in the North? They are the most backward in terms of poverty.
Of course.
The out-of-school children that is about 15 or 20 million, the North alone accounts for more than 13 million of that number.
In fact, in Kano, I think literacy rate is about 11.6 out of 100, and numerical skill is just 10 point something.
The Lord be with you. Meanwhile, the children of the politicians are schooling in Cambridge, in Yale, in Oxford, but they promote an Almajiri system that impoverishes the people and put them down.
Jonathan even tried
to bring the Almajiri kind of thing, to incorporate it into normal, education, build schools, give them this thing.
Abandoned them.
Because, and that it still goes back to that issue of religion and religiosity or ethnicity. The more uneducated the people are and poor, the more you can weaponize it. They become tools. They can't think for themselves. So they are controlled by the people. That is the work of politicians. So when people tell you, let power go to this, let power go to that, I wish Nigeria will come to a point where we talk about character, competence, and capacity. My brother, Nigeria is bleeding. If you are an Igala man and you can fix this country, please, can you get the job done? The person who is there, who is a Yoruba man, how well have the lives of the Yorubas improved? The Kabiesis who were killed in Ekiti, have the president gone to visit them? You say less than 2 years into office, they began campaign. President Tinubu began campaign for 2027 in 2023. Because the only thing that his pattern of politics have shown is that they only are interested in politics and not governance.
Power.
They want to just get power for the sake of power, use it for self-gratification, financial aggrandizement. The pattern is, you help me get there. Once I get there, I would settle all of you. It is what the template in Lagos is the template in Abuja. They don't pretend. You are the one who is looking for Nelson Mandela or Lincoln you. So what they are doing now, if the presidency or anybody is doing anything, it is how it will help them in 2027. Governance has gone back. Whether it is issue of insecurity, whether it is issue of corruption, whether anything we are talking now is 2027. And the only guarantee they have is electoral irregularities.
Is there anything good that this administration has done?
When you say anything good, in what sense?
To better the lives of the citizens.
I think the lives of the citizens you see and your own life is the clear answer to the question.
I mean, in fact,
because you know you are the citizen.
In fact, this is a direct bullet. I personally, this is my Oga sitting right here, and on a personal terms, we have discussed a lot about the issue of Nigeria.
Yeah.
For example, I was going back home from work on that was on Wednesday. There is this road they are constructing between Giri Junction and a place called Gwako in Gwagwalada Area Council. Immediately we came down from the bridge at Giri Junction, then we started seeing everybody turning back to maintain a one-way. Then my friend that was driving said, look, oh boy, we also have to do what others are doing because we don't know what is happening at the front. Then we turned. We switched to the other lane. One mind just told me, young man, come down from this vehicle. Go and look at what is happening at the front. And we got there was nothing. I even imagine maybe a trailer fell down or something, but there was nothing. In my mind, I was like, this is indiscipline. Then I came down from the vehicle with just one policeman that I saw at the scene of the chaos, the traffic chaos. Then I engaged the policeman. I was like, excuse me, can we do this thing together? The man said no. I was like, why? He said, only he alone cannot do that. I said, okay, as a citizen, it is my duty to support you, even if it is not a right. Just come. This police officer was scared. Then a single soldier came. Just one. Coincidentally, he was moving with his bike. Then I approached him. then he joined me. Just the presence of one soldier, we were able to control the traffic and passed over 500 vehicles in about 40 minutes. Why do you think Nigerians do not respect the police, but get scared? Not necessarily respecting the military officers. People are only scared of them because they also have theirs. How well do you think we can utilize these security institutions to fight indiscipline in Nigeria?
Doctor, in fact, that scenario you painted shows the level of irresponsibility, recklessness, and abuse of office and power we have in Nigeria. A military man, a combatant officer, has no business on a Nigerian road.
Of course.
A man who is supposed to be trained to defend our national unity and territorial integrity should be taken care of and pampered. The fact that they are there shows that there is something wrong. Because you made reference to what good has the Tinubu administration done. Well, if nothing shows the Tinubu administration what they have done, the fact that a government will come and 2-3 years into the next election, you are so desperate to return
to win
the next election should tell you what you have to offer. And the only hope and guarantee of the current APC government is electoral malpractice. It can be only through rigging. They know that the votes cannot come from anywhere. So the strategy will be infiltrate opposition, break them and ensure that they cannot unite and come together. Let INEC then go and do the job of the hatchet person, pack pockets of vote. So you can see that the major voting bloc, Lagos will have issues, Rivers already has issues, Kano will be divided, Delta, Akwa Ibom, and then President Tinubu is the only person who won presidency by losing all the major voting blocks. He lost Abuja, the center. Abuja is like a microcosm of Nigeria. No man's land. It is an indicator. He lost his home state of Lagos. He left Etiosa where he lives to go and register and vote in Ikeja. Obi won him Ikeja and Etiosa home and away. He lost Kano, lost Rivers, but somehow became president. And if you do not do anything, that is the template they will build on. So if you want to say that what good has the Tinubu presidency done, they came with an agenda of renewed hope. And then you can see the level of renewed hopelessness in the country. Buhari made the price of pepper to be high. Tinubu is showing you the pepper directly now. So that you will feel it.
Putting it in your eyes.
So as it is today now, Nigerians are just waiting. The group, people who are in Nigeria, Nigerians are like American citizens in the diaspora or European citizens in the diaspora. You are either waiting for visa or they don't deny you. So you go see the hustle, you go they try. Some of us wait here. If we come after another 1 year now, go come, they go say one guy don't come up from here now. They say, you don't get people, you don't go. That is Nigeria. And then the brazen level of criminality and corruption. There is nothing that is killing Nigeria more than corruption. When more than 70% of your budget is stolen. When you will, an ICC that was built for 28 million 30 years ago is renovated for 39 billion and then named after who renovated and not who built. My brother, Nigeria is in crisis. It is a corruption and criminality Armageddon. But unfortunately, the victims are sitting down and watching.
Because we have become hopeless.
Why should you be?
We just feel the country has become irredeemable.
Do you know that is what they want?
And it's a problem.
That when they're more disappointed, the plan is for you to feel hopeless and not pay attention. As you not pay attention, it is a blessing to politicians.
You know, people came after the past election to say that they are never going to vote again.
Yes.
Because the one they did, they
waiting come out.
They no count them. They still give who they want give.
Yes.
They said for that, they are not coming back. It's hard on the citizens. It's very, very hard on the citizens. When you look, it's such a heap of, atrocity, treachery, deceit. When you look at it, you don't know where to start from. How did you become this person you are now?
Yeah.
Did you is it that the situation became so unbearable for you that you woke up one morning and decided you're going to take it upon yourself to champion this cause?
I have seen, first of all, I want to believe that when God creates you, he wires you or configures you to meet the purpose why he created you. Every human being has a purpose. And I believe that there is a reason why God made me a Nigerian. I could have been British, I could have been US or Canadian, but he put me here. and my upbringing and my life, my background, I have seen injustice firsthand. We were almost raised by a single mother, even when my father was alive. I know what it means for your rights to be taken from you because you do not have the status or capacity, what it can be. And somehow I just grew to find out that I'm a person who is very human-oriented. I like the idea of humanity. When people see me, a lot of people do not know exactly where I'm from. Some people will say, maybe you are Hausa, maybe you are this, because they may hear me singing one language or this and that. That is how much I love. When I see that you speak differently from me, instead of me to be scared or want to avoid you, I want to know why you speak that way, what that means. And then when I meet a person, the first question I want to ask you, as even as young people growing up, is not what music you like or they play football like other normal young persons. My first question, are you in school? If you don't finish school, are you working? Why are you not working? Where do you live? And all that. Naturally. So I became very interested in the human being. That my interest now led me to knowing that the welfare of a person is linked directly to the quality of leadership you have. Everybody in Nigeria is struggling today because the center, which is government, is not working. So we have been struggling to fix things from the parts. NGOs, this one go say they do law enforcement reform. They try to do, it won't work. Private citizens are supposed to complement efforts of government, not do what government should do. Because it is government that must provide the policy, the framework, the roadmap, and the structure for you to do and to thrive. It's just like you go see Peter Obi go today, he go donate money for one hospital for Benin. The money have not go reach to finish all the things where they there. But inside that Benin, how many hospitals they? For Anambra, if you go give University of Nigeria and Suka Teaching Hospital 50 million, what of the one where they for Oka? What will now happen to it? Imagine now you having opportunity as you they do good as one person, so you can become president and then make a policy that strengthens all the institutions. So which is easier? Continue to struggle or fix government that covers the broadband for everybody? Nigeria cannot move forward without functional leadership. That is how I got to where I am. And the more the thing gets difficult, you must get tough as the going gets tough. You do not have another option. You must activate. Nigeria can meet you anywhere you dey. Your own fit no be saying a stray bullet. If it be say you slum now, there's no ambulance to take you to hospital. If it be say ambulance day, there's no fuel. If it be say fuel day, roadblock day, no special lane. They no give you chance, you go die for there. Remember one doctor, Dr. Chinelo, she don't prepare to travel to Japa finish, carry passport. She was traveling on a train between Kaduna and Abuja when terrorists attacked. They shot her. She posted for Twitter, saying, may they pray for her. Some people were even mocking her. Part of these same APC people where they accuse obedience. So that lady died on her way to leaving the country. As long as you are here, you can be a victim. We must not get tired of trying. We must try. Now, my own be that. Let it be that by 2027, even if it failed, I want to have the assurance and conviction that I did my best. That is my own. I can't solve all the problem, but my best, I will do it.
All right, let's talk about this coalition, the ADC.
The coalition.
What do you think is going to be the outcome of this coalition? Do you think there's any hope of enthroning or any good?
Should I be honest with you? Before me, I like to be a very solution-oriented person. The question I will ask is, why do we need a coalition? And everybody in the coalition should honestly answer the question. The only reason why in Nigeria today, it has become a routine that for you to unseat an incumbent president or a sitting president, there must be coming together of all opposition figures. Why? Because they know that INEC will not do the right thing. They believe that the incumbent will weaponize INEC. So you need to overwhelm the system so that you can pull the person out. So the question will now be, a coming together, is it for the good, for the sake of the country, or it is a coalition for the sake of power? Because coaliting for just coalition's sake is just problem that is changing name and dimension. A majority or a good number of the persons who are in the coalition were in a coalition before. Now, coalition carriers reach where we did so. Doctor,
yes.
In 2014, there was a coming together and a merger.
The Erufais, the article.
That is what bettered the Buhari government that brought the catastrophe that we are still dealing with still today. And so we are coming together. So, of course, is the idea of a coalition at this point, will it be necessary? It is necessitated because you have failed to fix INEC. You have failed to reform the electoral process, including the opposition leaders who were the direct primary victims of INEC's irregularities and mischief in 2023. People, now so when I come trust INEC reach. And what is the guarantee that even with the coalition, a person who is now incumbent cannot still weaponize that INEC with all that we are seeing? So coalition that is interested in fixing, the welfare of the people and all of that, hunger, inflation, of course, is welcome. But the risk of this coalition, imagine, let's say, for example, Peter Obi becomes the coalition flag bearer and you become president. Imagine being president from a coalition as Peter Obi and trying to service and manage the interest of the number of persons, political gladiators in that coalition. Imagine servicing the interest of Atiku Abubakar, El-Rufai, Amechi, David Mark, Aregbe-Shola, and every other person. So maybe, for example, you want to fight corruption in the oil sector. You want to go hard on them. And then you turn to the oil sector and you see the power players who have held that oil sector down. And you see that they are the people who put hand under your leg to lift you to become coalition president or candidate. What happens to you? It binds and limits you. We must fix elections so that when a person gets into public office, it is a direct and clear mandate from the people. You know that you are beholden to them, not a bunch of political actors who are only interested in taking power for the sake of power. Anything that is outside power from the people will, at the end of it, become a problem to all of us. Because guess what? Before you know, the coalition president fit come. By the time you don't reach 1 year, 2 years, some people go vex around. Maybe you did not service this one, you not service this one. They go back again, form another coalition, and fit you. So we are coalition in progress. Coalition on steroids. So that is the idea. No matter how much coalition is good and how it is good, pay attention to it, support it. There is no substitute for electoral reform and fixing INEC. If not, we continue to coalite.
How about, I need to talk about, was it on Thursday or Wednesday this week? I saw you with Senator
Natasha. Okay, on Tuesday, yes.
Yeah, on Tuesday with Senator Natasha. The whole chaos that has, befallen the National Assembly as regard to the issue of Natasha, Babio, and the rest of it. What exactly is happening? What do you think is the problem?
Nigeria, we must decide whether we are a country of the rule of law or we are ruled by the laws of men. We are either creating strong institutions or we are building strong men. Every institution is supposed to work independently of the other. But unfortunately, today in Nigeria, the National Assembly that is supposed to be in a democracy, the National Assembly is the symbol of a democracy. That is the only arm of government that is not present in a military dictatorship. So democracy is that National Assembly. They perform oversight over every other arm of government. Today in Nigeria, the National Assembly have become almost an APC town hall. It is a gathering it is an extension of the executive arm. That is why for 2 years, if President Tinubu go to submit budget, they greet him with their normal mantra, on their mandate they shall fall. And that is why whatever that is going on, if Senate President Akpabio has a personal issue with the Senator Natasha, he can settle it personally and not weaponize the institution against a senator. Every senator is elected equally, and the Senate President is only privileged to be elected by other members to lead them and not to lord over them. You say the senator disobeys standing rules. She no agree change seats. Meanwhile, she was calling on Order 10 and 11, which are her own orders of privileges as a senator, and the Senator President did not, attend to it. And my personal issue is the fact that you can't, discipline, there should be internal disciplinary mechanisms. Of course, we agree. Nowhere should be lawless. But before the Senate President, before the Senate suspended Natasha, the Senate President was on mic just as I'm talking on that day. He had already said, put her on suspension. Let the sergeant at arms lead her out. So that suspension was the unilateral decision of the Senate President before sending it to that mischievous Committee on Ethics to ratify what he had already decided to single-handedly do. And nowhere in the history of Nigeria has a senator been suspended for 6 months. How about my brother? In 2018, a senator led thugs into the Senate chambers to steal mace and run. The senator was suspended.
That was Senator
Obioma Gege.
Omagege from Delta.
He was there. The Supreme Court struck out his suspension and reduced it to 14 days. Guess what? By 2019, he was voted in as Deputy Senate President. A senator in that place, a former governor, was convicted of money laundering and sentenced to prison for 6 months. He was going through appeal and all of that until Supreme Court overturned the ruling and said they should go back to lower court. Did the Senate suspend him or stop his salaries and allowances? So the Senate standing orders do not know how to take care of criminals, convicted criminals amongst them. Only women who refuse to change seats, given suspension for 6 months. Now the woman went and took, challenged it in court, and the court ruled. This court made a clear declaration in paragraph 10. He said, I find this suspension overreaching because it stops the senator from holding on to sitting for the number of days that are provided in the Constitution in Section 63 of the 1999 Constitution, rendering it unconstitutional. And then the Senate decided to say, we want her to first do an apology which is supposed to be to the court on content. That is, the Senate is the one helping court to enforce an order that is for the court. That is what Nigeria is. And then they said, okay, the Senate president wants to go and appeal. Because for you to appeal that court ruling, there must be a vote by the Senate. It is the Senate that will appeal, not the Senate president. Akpabio went to court and appealed and then made Natasha, the clerk, and the National Assembly first, second, and third respondents. So in all of this, my major issue is that in a Senate of 109 senators, we have only 4 women. One of them is the person going through this persecution. There is no country in the world that treats the female population the way we treat women in Nigeria that can move forward. Women must be given serious attention. It must be deliberate to ensure that the voices of women are heard and women are supported. Even if the so-called Senate rules they are talking about, they are the whims and caprices of politicians. If they want to do any mischief today, they will amend it. Laws were made for men now, not men for the laws. But the senator was suspended, her salary stopped, security withdrawn, and all of that for 6 months because they say she no gree sit. The petition where she talk of allegations of sexual harassment, abuse of office, criminal, malicious intention to stop her legislative privileges was thrown out. The Senate president could not even allow an independent investigation into it. But now the person with no agree to change seat, they say yes. Why she go say she no go change seat for 6 months? Nigeria is a joke. If we don't fix our institutions, we are going on a downward spiral. How did her not sitting, abuse suspension relate to the criminal recall they started for her constituency to recall her from the Senate? Who was doing that one?
Now that you're talking about suspensions, we, of course, the president also suspended a governor, a sitting governor today in Rivers, and nothing has been done about it. And recently, we've seen that the governor have tried to reconcile with the Wike and the president. So, what is it? The same thing, the same, political overreach, or what exactly?
Absolute power will corrupt absolutely. President Tinubu did not suspend Rivers State Governor because he believes it is right or legal. He did not do it because he believes it is illegal or wrong. He did it because he knows he can do it and nothing will happen. There are states where he will not try it. If he knew that it was about legality, before he sent the memo to the National Assembly to ratify, he had already sworn in the sole administrator. And the ratification from National Assembly was supposed to come with 2/3 majority. There must be a quorum and they must vote on it. The Senate president and the Senate decided to use a voice vote. How do you ascertain 2/3 majority through voice vote? That is what we are seeing in Nigeria. Abuse, gross handling. But the question that brings me back to this thing you see me talking about, I will not address the symptom and leave the root cause. Waiting caused the issue for Rivers State. They say agreement is agreement. Between who and who? Because one former governor thought that you are so powerful and you have amassed so much wealth that you can be the one who will decide who will be governor. And if the person does not do what I want him to do, I will go against you. I can tell the State House of Assembly to vote you out. Why? Because INEC is the weapon fashioned against them. So the more than 10 million people in Rivers State do not know how to pick a governor. It is their former governor who picks for them. And then now that former governor is now backed by federal might and whatever that they do. Look at the peace where they say be peace. that the governor, you should, according to the report, you will not go for second term. They don't talk about anybody contesting from your own camp, local government election. They will be given to. That is the same Tinubu government that is talking about local government autonomy is the one in another state saying that the sitting governor should not talk about local government chairman. They will be picked by a minister in his cabinet. But because we will fail to fix INEC, because we will not know how to give power back to the people, godfathers and strong men will be the ones who will continue to pick. Shena Wike, they decide who will be governor. Nigerians do not, we are too afraid to confront the big elephant in the room. So we are looking for shortcuts and trying to cut corners. There is no substitute for electoral reform. INEC is Nigeria's problem. INEC is the shrine where Nigeria's spirit is being invoked. If you don't fix INEC, we will continue to have problems. It is INEC that caused what is going on in Rivers State. If you don't fix it in 2027, you will see more problem.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, and we've come to the end of this episode. It's been an exciting discussion, and hopefully we're going to continue to do this. And we implore you to support this movement. Peter here is doing amazingly well. It's not easy. The threat, I'm sure he has been getting a lot of it. The threats and the stress alone is out of this world. But with platforms like ours, we will contribute to ensuring that his voice, is louder, because Nigeria is for all of us. If it is bad, if it is good, we will all benefit from it. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.